Hockey Fan Report. Aloha and mahalo. My name is Guy, the Y Blues fan, and this is a non-Blues game day, so we call it the Hockey Fan Report. That's right, we're here to talk hockey for the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. There are only 3 games on the NHL skate tonight. Currently, the New Jersey Devils are putting it to. I just had to click the wrong button. New Jersey Devils are whipping up on the Canucks 6-2, and the Maple Leafs and the Capitals are 3-2 Leafs just at the end of the second. Later, the Bees will be at the land of milk and honey in LA, taking on the Kings. Hey, Ashley, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm getting it. I'm having a rough, struggling Monday, but you know what? That happens.
Absolutely. We just got to power through it.
Yep. We'll get to. She says so. Doc, and I know who Doc is. Says we need a D-man, one like Bo, to help Colt. And I can see that, but I think we already have that D-man.
I think Mikkel is doing fine.
Mikkel is doing fine. I think that Scandella can be that guy.
No, I don't. No.
You
we'll
don't.
touch it with a freaking 10-foot pole. Mikkel is doing what we need with Parayko. Parayko's last few games, he's plus. Like he was like negative
with Parayko, though. I don't think Bouwmeester played with Parayko, though, did he?
No, he did.
I think he did some, but he wasn't his regular partner.
I thought he was.
Oh,
at least during the playoffs.
I mean, it's hard. You could probably I know there's a way to look that stat up, but okay. Marianne says he was, so I'll trust her there. Can I get a link so I can listen to the Springfield games? Go to AHL.com, and the link will be there, my friend. AHL.com. How you doing, Brad? Welcome to the show.
And Guy, yes, during the Bruins series, Colton Parayko and Jay Bouwmeester were together.
Okay, fair enough. I think it's more his back than anything else, and he's still getting back from that.
Well, no, he's been playing well. Like that negative 18 that we were talking about a few weeks ago is down to a negative 2. He's been playing positive hockey for the last 7 games.
Yeah. Bennington wins 2 games, and people in the Blues Nation are saying that he's hot hand to play now, and he's back to his 2019 form. I saw that. I saw a lot of that, and I've been seeing that. That's why I titled the night Hockey and Politics, because believe it or not, it's coming in full circle, and I think that I'm trying to come up with how to say these words, and I've been thinking about it most of the day. The way that we treat our players in the Blues fan base has a lot to do with the political climate of the Blues, right? The landscape, right? Let's take everything else out. Let's put this in a bubble, in a vacuum, right? You look at it's the here and the now. It's what have you done for me lately? I'm not, and I know she says Doc says she's worried about Binnington. I'm not. I think Binnington, first of all, played a pretty good game yesterday.
He played a pretty good game the other night too.
Yeah, he did. He's had 2 solid games. He's given up 2 goals or 1 goal?
1 goal in those 2 games. But I mean, it's only 2 games, so I can get where Ryan's coming from.
No, I'm with him there too.
I have never wavered in my support of Binnington. Mm-hmm. Every goalie goes through a slump. Look at all the greats. They all have a slump.
Yeah.
I think he's finally coming out of it. Did I ever lose trust in him though? No. It was more than just one thing. Yeah,
no, you didn't. And I'm with you there. The fan base, our fan base is so fickle. It's not even funny.
Fickle.
And that's the right word, straight up. Straight fickle. They turn in an instant. Mm-hmm. They don't, and too many of our fans only see the surface. Mm-hmm. And there's so much under the surface of a hockey game. So much. I mean, it's not even funny how much goes on. This is how many people, this is, you take an average hockey game in St. Louis, and let's say in an average game, I don't know what the numbers are, but I'd say 300,000 people watch a normal hockey game.
Okay.
Right? And we'll just throw that number out, about 300,000. I bet you of that 300,000, 290,000 don't hear a word that's said during the game. Mm-hmm. Because if they did, I'll tell you what. I know there's people out there that don't like Panger. Mm-hmm. I know there's people out there that don't like some of the other announcers. Mm-hmm. But I will say this about Panger, and I really caught it during the Chicago game. He talks about the undercurrent of the game. Mm-hmm. He talked about Krug going up and telling other players, hey, I see that the wings might be, they're closing the wings off on us. Let's start going to center. I see this, I see that. He talks about the undercurrent of the game, and a lot of people don't pay attention to that. Mm-hmm. Tanner, this is a great question. And I have one simple answer. I guess you could say it's 2 words. Right? Mm-hmm. 52 years. Right? Plain and simple, 52 years. That is why our fan base, and I think there's one other fan base out there that's just as fickle as we are, but they are much more passionate than we are. Mm-hmm. And that's the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Right? They're at what? The last time they won was 1966. Right? And that fan base will turn on their teams on a dime, but they are passionate. Very, very passionate.
Yep.
Right down the stretch can lead to a championship. We saw the 2011 Cardinals and the 2019 Blues. Yeah. And then also, don't forget the 2006 Cardinals. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had the worst record of any playoff team.
They sure did.
And they won the World Series. It's get in. It's get in, and then, the season starts over. You do the best you can. Never get so high or so low. Just one play at a time, one shift at a time, I saw recently, Chris Lambert put this out there or tagged me. And Chris, thank you so much for what you do with tagging me and making sure that I know a lot of this stuff. So I really, really do appreciate that. The National Hockey League put out a statement today, and the statement's kind of important. And I want to share the statement and read it with you. But then again, I heard something else, and I don't know. Again, I think it's correct. I'm not 100% sure it's correct, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that here in a second. We let's put this up. Here we go. Okay, so this is the statement from the NHL, and I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I'll read it, and it goes like this. The National Hockey League condemns Russia's invasion of Ukraine and urges a peaceful resolution as quickly as possible. Effective immediately, we are suspending our relations with our business partners in Russia, and we are pausing our Russian language social and digital media sites. In addition, we are discontinuing any consideration of Russia as a location for any future competitions involving the NHL. We also remain concerned about the well-being of the players from Russia who play in the NHL and on behalf of the NHL clubs and not on behalf of Russia. We understand that they and their families are being placed in an extremely difficult position. That is one of the best statements I've seen put out in a very, very, very long time.
I agree 100%.
Right? Very good statement. It's very open, very nice. It really covers what's going on. Now, I do have one issue with the statement.
Okay.
Right? I think it should have said Russia and Ukraine. I'm sorry. It takes two to tango. Something has happened. And I'm going to be completely honest with this. I don't know enough about the situation to take sides. So since I don't know enough about the situation, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, Guy. So basically, the Ukraine is its own democracy, its own independent country.
Independent country, yes.
Now, Russia, a communist country, big dog.
They are not a communist country.
Big dog wants to take over the little independent country, and they are defending themselves from the big dog.
Okay.
So
the
Russia,
big dog, however, hold on. The big dog that you're out there is saying that they're Russian-speaking members, that people that speak Russian in the Ukraine are being targeted and discriminated against and beaten and jailed. That's what they say. I don't know enough. But
we
there's
don't
two
know
sides
enough
to the story.
But they are invading Ukraine. It doesn't matter. They are invading Ukraine. I'm on Ukraine's side. I agree with the statement 100%. The way it is, it should not include Ukraine.
Okay, well, and that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm trying to be very
now. Not all Russians,
very neutral.
Not all Russians are bad. Like, I don't agree. There's something I read where Barbashev's agent is trying to
That's
get
what we were going to talk about.
Protection for the Russian players who are obviously not in Russia, not supporting the war.
Yeah, but there's enough people out there that will blame them and take exception with them.
Yeah.
Right. This is something that I am understanding firsthand. People, when you see something or hear something, go get the other side of the story. Go get the other side of the story, because what you're seeing is from somebody's. Okay, how can you say that? Because we don't know. We honestly don't know. Right? And look, they invaded a country. That's fine. I get that. And I see where you can say the invasion is wrong. But there's still information. I have somebody who has I have someone who knows someone who is in the Ukraine right now. Reporting from the Ukraine, and has been there for weeks. Right? Or months. They tell me, I mean, because it was brought up to me after I brought this up, that what we're hearing and what they're reporting are two totally different things. Right? And yes, there are three sides to every story, and that's what I'm trying to get at. There's their side, there's your side, there's my side, and there's a truth that lies somewhere in the middle. Right? And unfortunately, what's really bad is with the Ukraine, it goes right. I'll tell you what. I saw, and I even read it on the show. I don't think you were here. I saw a post. I don't know if were you here or not when I read this.
I wasn't here.
This was on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The real reason that the Ukraine invaded Russia was because the Bidens are so corrupt, and the proof is there. So they're going to get the proof because Putin is tired of hearing that how to run their country and how corrupt this country is when Biden is that corrupt. I'm dead serious. That was out on a political website and pushed it on Twitter. That was put out there. Right? So if people are going to take things and spin it like that, then I have a right to say I'm not taking sides. And both sides are wrong.
Okay. Let's go this route then, okay?
Okay,
when you
enough.
think of Switzerland, what do you think?
Neutrality.
They have taken a side. They are siding with Ukraine. They are putting sanctions on Putin specifically and Russia, and the neutral country has taken a side.
Okay, and that's fair enough. They might have better and then I saw someone talking about how great it was that Trump and Putin shook hands, So I don't know what to believe. I honestly don't know what to believe. So so for me, I try and step back and stay out of it. But it's hit us in the face, and Ovechkin is a dead center of this.
And he shouldn't be because he's a player, but
no, he put himself dead center of it.
Yeah, I know he did.
Okay. He put himself dead center of it by campaigning for Putin, right? And that has a lot to do against it. Man, I don't want to get Josh mad at me. I really don't. Josh, what?
He's telling the truth. It is essentially like if you look at where everyone's falling.
Yeah.
It is the world against Russia.
Fair enough. And
I mean, just look at the sides that have announced it. We're not really even saying who's right or who's wrong at this point. It's just look at where every country has declared where their loyalties lie. He's not wrong. And I agree with that too. It does take two until somebody comes into your house and is attacking your land. You're defending your land.
Yeah, I know. And it's I want to be careful with this.
I get it. This is why we don't normally go politics.
I know, but unfortunately politics is in hockey right now. Right? There's nothing I can do about this. Right? Okay. We had Golf King has been on the show the last week.
Of course.
And me and Golf King disagree completely.
Okay.
Right? Completely. And I've told Golf King, look, I'm inviting you. I'm extending an invitation to you to come on the show and debate with me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I told him, I said, look, I know this sounds like I'm attacking you, but I'm not. I have a platform that makes my voice sound a little bit stronger.
Yes.
Right? And I don't mean that in the literal sense. I mean it in the figurative sense. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, I have a strong voice to begin with. Right? So that's neither here nor there. My physical voice. I'm talking about my intellectual voice. Mm-hmm. My intellectual voice has a platform, and that platform makes it stand out a little bit. So you put something out there, you type it out, and then all of a sudden I go off and say, no, I don't agree with you. That can seem like an attack. Mm-hmm. And I don't want it to ever seem like an attack. Right? I like debate. I love debate. Debate Absolutely. Is great. Right? And I want to hear his opinion. I want to give him that same platform. Mm-hmm. Right? I want to give him that same platform, and that's where we're going. Robert's got to
Oh, Bob, you're the best.
Yeah. He does have a point there. I'll give it to him. There's so much going on and just everything. I mean, right now you've got Ovechkin out there. They're having their Black History Month night, right?
Yeah.
They have one of their 11, the Capitals, they have one of their 11 players of color that's on with it and that. And you can tell how they're tiptoeing around all of it, right?
And the coach aligns with the GM. Then Blueberry will guide the team. And Petro will wax steam. This is the dawning of the age of vengeance. Age of vengeance.
By far your worst.
I hated Hasek's comments towards Ovechkin.
I agree with you on that one. Like Hasek, I mean, in his defense, though, because I'm going to play devil's advocate, his country is being attacked by Ovechkin's country. But the problem is
he's not
Ukrainian. Yeah, he is.
No, he's not from Ukraine. He's from somewhere else. It sounds like Ukraine, but he's not Ukrainian. I know that.
Hold on. It's a quick Google search.
Yeah. He's not from Ukraine. He's from, I want to say, like Belarus or something like that. He's not Ukrainian.
He's from Czech
Republic.
Huh? But that is where Czech used to be, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. He's Czech Republic. No, that Czech Republic was Czechoslovakia. Was part of Czechoslovakia. So now that's Czech Republic and Slovakia. Ukraine is totally separate from that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not see what Wayne Gretzky said, my friend, Mary.
He pretty much said the same thing.
That that Ovechkin was chicken shit.
Well, not in that wording, but
yeah. Right. No, I mean, we unfortunately politics and hockey have crossed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to, you know what, Shockey? This is probably the first time ever that you should be glad that you are late.
Yes, we got political today.
Yeah, we're political today, and you and thanks to Sports Freak, we got me singing again. Right? Ryan Green says my singing is like the Cuban Missile Crisis. Oh, wow. The Caps tied it up 3-3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hey, how'd the move go, Shockey? I know you've moving today, so we hope it's good. Defenseman Petri Lindblom has made an NHL return to the Panthers, signed him to a 1 year at $750, and he's also been put on waivers. Well, they put him on waivers so they can send him down to the minors.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm guessing that he's far enough up in, he's on one of those type of contracts where he has to do that. 2 loads down, 1 to go. We're gonna talk serious hockey here in this. Well, I say serious hockey. We're gonna talk. One thing that I'm thinking about doing is writing an article of ranking what I call the 10 Stanley Cup contenders.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I'm pretty well narrowed it down to 10, though I had to extend it from 8. I had to add 2 that I don't think are contenders, but they could be. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I had to add Pittsburgh and the Rangers, but I think that those 2 are they're going to play, more than likely play each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Pittsburgh and the Rangers that would play each other. I got to look at the standings again. I haven't pulled them up. Make sure I'm not being stupid again. Let me double check here. Yeah, so the Caps in Boston are in the wild card, and they're pretty much solidified, right? They got 10 points on Columbus with 1 game in hand, and Boston, and the Caps do, and Boston's got 11 points with a game in hand. So to me, I don't see Columbus or Detroit catching Boston or Washington right now. I just don't see it.
Oh no.
Right. It could happen, but I don't see it. I just don't. So in the East, you have Carolina, Pittsburgh, the Rangers, Florida, Tampa, Toronto, Boston, and Washington. That's in the East. Now, of those, I see 4 contenders.
Mm-hmm.
4. Actually, 5. Yeah, 4. I see Carolina, Florida, Tampa, and Toronto being contenders. Right? I don't see Pittsburgh, and I don't see the Rangers as long as they face each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because then I see one of them facing Carolina, and Carolina having a pretty easy path through either Washington or Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, that's how I see the West or the East. Now in the West, I see some real contenders. Right? In the West, you have Colorado, St. Louis, Minnesota, and Nashville. Right? Those are 4 that I think you can say are Cup contenders. Nashville's on the edge of that. Right? Then you have Calgary and Vegas. That's your 6. I don't think Los Angeles, to me, I know where they're at, but I just don't feel like they're a contender. I think Vegas can beat them if Los Angeles faces Vegas right off the get-go, right? If Los Angeles faces Vegas right off the get-go, Vegas wins. Especially if they get some of those guys back that are on LTIR. Stone and Lanier.
Yeah.
Right? So at that point, so really, if I'm ranking them, Nashville is my number 10. Pittsburgh and the Rangers are 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vegas comes in at 7.
Okay.
That's how I would rank the bottom part.
Okay.
Right? And then you have, for me, it really comes down to I think my number 1 is Colorado. My number 2 is Tampa. My number 3 is Carolina. Number 4 is Florida. Number 5 is St. Louis. And then number 6 would be Minnesota. That is how I think I would rank the top 10. And did I cover everybody? Did I miss somebody?
I think you missed Calgary.
Oh, Calgary would come in at 6 or 7 then.
Okay.
Yeah. 7. No, then I have too many teams, I think.
I'm trying to think because.
Well, oh, okay. You know what? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6. Now, wait a minute. So who were I said Carolina. Oh, I do have too many teams. Mm-hmm. Carolina, Florida, Tampa, Toronto are the 4 major ones in the East, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have 6. I have 6 from these because I have Pittsburgh and the Rangers. Actually, they might take 1 spot instead of 2, right? In the West, that's kind of where I messed it up. I would take Nashville out of there, right? I take Nashville out, and then I have Colorado, St. Louis, Minnesota, Calgary, and then if you add Vegas in there, that's 11. But that's me considering that Pittsburgh and the Rangers are in 1 spot. I put them together.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Right. But I do handicap this. I do think that this is Colorado's cup to lose. And I know people and St. Louis fans are going to hate me for saying that, but right now they're playing. They're just on. They're on.
They're not.
Huh?
They're not. Look at their record. Their record isn't any better than us right now, other than the fact that they have a couple more wins. But I'm like, look at their last 10. They're starting to slump a little. They're starting to show cracks.
Their last 10 is 7-2-1. We're 7-2-1.
Exactly. They're not any better than us. I guarantee you that they're going to start slumping towards the end when they need to not be slumping, and the Blues are going to catch up with them. I still say, and it's a long shot, but I still say the Blues are going to beat them for the Central. They're going to be number one in the Central.
I don't want to be number one in the Central.
I don't care as long as one of the East teams gets hot and takes the President's Trophy.
I don't see that happening either. But the problem is you look at the wild cards, Nashville and Dallas. Dallas we match up well against. Nashville we don't.
Not what I saw. The Blues have played Nashville very well.
Historically, we don't match up well against.
Okay, we're not talking about historically. We're talking about this season.
Okay, fair enough. Guy singing could single-handedly stop the Freedom Convoy in its tracks. Oh my goodness. Where are we at? So I'm lost here now. I'm trying to catch up.
Morton said, "Is Bennington back?" Man, I hope so.
I'm not going to say he's back. I'm going to say that he's had 2 pretty solid games.
I mean, I say that a lot too, but
yeah, I'm not there with him being hot yet. Why so low on St. Louis? Because honestly, I'm looking at our path. Right? You got to look at the path, and if you look at the path, Minnesota's going to we're going to beat Minnesota, but they're going to take us 6 games. Colorado is in our way, and with Colorado being in our way at home, I mean they have just as many comeback wins as we do. The matchup is as close to even as you can get, and then you flip a coin. You know, you almost have to flip a coin in some ways. I just don't. I see their path being one of the hardest paths to get to the finals.
Okay, so our next game is the New York Rangers, right?
Yes.
Do you see that as a win or a loss? Is that a winnable game?
I see it as a 50-50.
Okay, next
Toss-up.
game, Islanders. That's a win.
That's a winnable game. Yes.
New Jersey Devils. Winnable game, especially after the shellacking that we took. We're not going to want to lose again, right?
Winnable
Ottawa
game,
Senators. Yes. Winnable game, right?
Winnable game, yes.
New York Rangers again 50-50, but probably
50-50. I'll keep that 50-50. It's at home, so it gives us their game is in the Garden. They have the edge. Our game at home, we have the edge.
Okay, so 50-50. We have 1 loss in there then so far, and that's going all the way to March 12th, but we'll continue. Winnipeg, again, winnable game. Pittsburgh was fun last time. We took it to the end. I'll say 50-50.
Okay, 50-50. I agree there.
Columbus, we'll win that one. Capitals.
That one has slipped into the 50-50 category. Columbus is playing very well right now, and that one's in Columbus, so that gives them a boost. That one's in Columbus, right?
Yes.
So that gives them a boost, and I think that boost puts that at a 50-50 game.
Okay. Continuing though, Flyers, winnable game.
Yes.
Hurricanes will be a test.
Yes.
I give it a 50-50.
I won't. I'll say 80-20. Yep. I'm giving the Hurricanes 50-50. That game.
Vancouver, again, winnable. We play them back to back. Edmonton.
Okay.
Could be fun. 50-50.
50-50 on that one, yeah.
Flames, they're just plain hot, but I don't know how hot they're going to stay through this month. That's going to be in April. So I'll say 50-50.
That's a 60-40. Where is it?
It's in Calgary.
60-40.
Arizona should be a winnable game. Kraken should be a winnable game.
That's a 50-50 the way we play against them.
Yeah. But I mean, look at our schedule. Our schedule is not anything that's making me think, oh, we're not going to win that game. We don't have anything that makes me, oh, do we have a shot? Until the end when we play Boston, the Sharks, Coyotes, will win that one, Ducks. And then the last 2 games, Avalanche and Vegas. Those are the only ones that make me kind of squirm.
And that's through the end of the season, right?
Yeah. Our schedule for the rest of the season is almost a cakewalk. Their schedule, they get much harder teams because they've already had their light schedule. I guarantee you that even if we don't pull to beat them in the Central, which I strongly doubt that's going to happen, I really think the Blues are going to win Central. It'll be close. It won't be this 12-point gap. It's going to be a game that separates them. I would put money on it.
Wow. You sound like me in 19.
Oh, you didn't hear me in 19. Like, I worked with Chris. I was his manager, right?
Yeah.
And the Blues were losing. They were losing. It wasn't even January yet. It was still December.
Yeah. Okay.
And he told me that the Blues sucked and they weren't going to make the playoffs. And I literally cussed him out. On the floor, on the clock, I cussed him out and said, "Do not count my Blues out."
Me and Dante did a show in towards the end of the season. I think there was about a month left. And I had predicted the Blues to win the division. Right.
And they came close.
They within a point. Yeah, within a point. They came very close. That was not I consider that a win, even though they didn't win the division. You get within a point.
It was close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I think that it'll be within a point.
I want to have your enthusiasm. I don't. And one of the reasons I don't is at this moment, I know there's 30 games left. And in 30 games, you know who your contenders are. You know who your pretenders are. You know who your lottery is, right? For the most part. Right. There are probably 8 solid contenders. Right. I'd say that 8. At this point, there's 8. By the end of March, for the month of April, there'll be 4. I think some teams will fall out of that or whatever. But
and I believe that some teams that people tout so high are going to come crumbling down.
I think if Guy is right, Guy should have to do something, and Ashley, if she wins, should have to sing one of Guy's songs.
You think Guy's bad at singing, man? You don't want to hear it.
Well, there we go.
But I'll do it. I'll do it. I will sing one of your songs.
But how do you get what you're right and what I'm right, or how we're saying? So it would be if the Blues win the division, you have to do a parody song.
Okay.
And if I win the division, I have to be your co-host for a week.
No, that's too easy for you, man.
What you mean? It's easy for me to sit back and shut up? Do you know how hard that is?
Not really, because I get you to sit down and shut up quite a bit. You set me on a tirade.
As much as you think.
Oh man, you get me heated, and I can shut you up pretty quick, my friend.
We got to figure out something on my end. Well, you know what? We'll leave it out to there. Here it is. The bet is this: if the if the Blues win the division, well, let's put if Colorado Avalanche win the division, then Ashley will have to do a parody song. If the Blues win the division, you guys, between now and the end of March, can put in suggestions, and then me and Ashley will pick one of them that I will have to do.
Actually, okay, I got a fun one, right? You're in Hawaii. This is easy. Lion King is one of my favorite movies. So if the Blues win the division, you have to put on one of those coconut bras and do
I've already done it. I want to
see it again. I want to see it again.
Okay. Let's see here. This might take me a little bit because it's way down in the annals of history. Let's see if I can.
I want a skirt and everything.
There are people out there that will tell you I've already done that. In one of my very, very early shows, I've twerked for, I'm trying to get through something like, let me go back to this one. I just realized I have 972 videos.
You see, the problem with that, though, is he's kind of old. And if he goes cliff jumping, I mean, he might die. Because, he broke his wrist or hand in a light practice.
Well, yeah, because I fell on my hand.
Again, because he's old, so I don't think that cliff jumping.
Oh no,
is a
cliff
good
jumping.
Idea.
Yeah, no. Well,
because he's old.
There is one place where I could do it that is safe.
Yes, Chris. Blues colored painted coconuts.
I had something similar. I don't have my coconuts anymore. I'm trying to find this. Is this it? No, that's only 548. It's somewhere in here.
Oh, wow. Tanner says running in the rain in a thong Speedo. There are some things that I just don't want to see.
No, she knows I hate the rain.
Yes, Brian, I agree that coconuts taste similar to soap.
Yes, they do.
Guy doesn't have his coconuts. Heard it here, folks.
Here it is. I found it.
Ooh.
Stand by. You keep them talking there for a second. Okay. Well. No. This is something that when I first started doing the show, this is one of the first episodes that I figured out how to do some video editing and some things like that. I want you guys to see. This is why some of my older shows are worth going back and looking at. Let's check this out here real quick. This is from A View from Afar, my first season, my 9th episode on 30th of October, 2018. We're going to watch this show in its entirety, right? And we'll put it down here so me and Ashley can comment as the show's going. Are you guys ready for this? Here you go. This is the Hawaii, I think at that point I called it A View from Afar. And the name for that title was I was going to do some writing for Game Time, and my column was going to be called A View from Afar because me being in Hawaii. Right? Didn't work. Title didn't work well for a video show, but so here we go. This is, I got to find the right thing. This is A View from Afar.
And welcome to A View from Afar. I'm your host, Guy Bensing, also known as the Hawaii Blues Fan. On today's show, we're going to talk about the last game against the hated Blackhawks. We'll talk about the upcoming game against the Vegas Golden Knights. We'll do our fan of the game, our tattoo of the game, and I have a couple surprises at the end, so stick around. So Saturday night, our beloved Blues met the hated Blackhawks for the third time, and I predicted a loss. Boy, was I happy to be wrong. Blues came out, had a wonderful game.
You look like Mike O'Malley in this.
And hey, you're the Hawaii Blues fan, but you never show us Hawaii. So I thought today we would start a new segment. I got a roving reporter. We're going to send our roving reporter out to places in Hawaii to show you that I live here in Hawaii.
This is from my channel. This is what used to be on my. This is how I started.
Thank you, Guy, for that great introduction. It's wonderful to join you as your roving reporter. As you can see here today, I'm at historic Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam Dog Beach.
Wow, that is absolutely beautiful out there.
Yeah, it is beautiful out here. This is the entrance to Pearl Harbor.
Well, it's very nice, but so our Blues, they beat up on that Rivals. I want to know how happy you are about it, roving reporter.
How happy am I about the Blues winning? Oh, man, I cannot tell you how happy I am about that game.
Yes, the Blues did score first, but they gave us a scare there. They never gave up they never trailed, but they did scare us. They almost gave up that 2-goal lead. Boy, that was scaring me. Tarasenko, 2 goals, 3 for 5 on the power play. Very nice.
I'll tell you some behind-the-scenes stuff here in a bit.
Tarasenko, a power play goal, and then a power play goal to end it. Oh, man, oh, man. How happy am I?
So, yes, I want to know just how happy you are.
So happy, I could dance the hula. Yeah, I went there. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in.
Okay, roving reporter. I think all of us now need to burn that image out of our eyes, but I don't think it's going to happen. Let's talk about the next game. So,
I don't even know if I can handle this.
The Vegas Golden Knights. Our all-time record against them is 1-0-2. We won the game in St. Louis back in January, and we lost the 2 games in Vegas in overtime, the first one of which I was at. Great experience. So Vegas's record is 5-6-1 for 11 points. They played 12 games for a total of 24 points, so they're well under 500. The Blues are 3-4-3 for 9 points, playing 10 games for a total of 20, so slightly under 500. So a win here would be a good boost to the Blues, especially after that last win against the Knights, against the Blackhawks. This game also features 3 ex-Blues.
I screwed this up.
The return of Paul Stanzi, first game since he was traded, I think. No, he might have come back with Winnipeg once. Max Pescarati, who's been back a few times.
Who wasn't a Blue. I thought it was somebody else.
And then moved around the league. And then fan favorite Ryan Reeves.
And I forgot all about
a lot of people who like Ryan Reeves. You look in the groups, and they're always talking about Ryan Reeves and how great it would be if he was still on the team. Well, 75 got his first power play goal a couple of games ago, so who knows what he'll do here. It'll be his second time back, and I'm sure he'll get a big round of applause. In goal for the Knights should be the Flower, Marc-Andre Fleury. That means goals are going to come at a premium. Our goalie controversy is fresh and new and ready to go. It looks like Allen will be in net. I'm doing this on Wednesday, so I don't have the starters yet. I know that Husso was sent back down, so more than likely Allen's going to start. With this game and prediction time, considering how bad I predicted last time, I'll hope I predict just as bad this time. I'm going to predict a Knight win, 5-2.
I think it was close. No, actually, we won.
And now it's
we won that game. We won that game.
The game. And our fan of the game is Ray Standifer. Ray can be found on Twitter at STL Blu-ray. Ray is also a blogger with the Blues Rant. I want to thank bluesrant.com for helping me out. They've been posting my tweets and forwarding things, and I appreciate you guys. Ray, congratulations. You're the fan of the game. Now it's time for the tattoo of the game. And today's beauty is on David Garrett. David got this about 10 years ago. Bob Lowe was the artist. He got it done at Ink Masters in Troy, Missouri. Bob, I love it. Or David, I love it. I'm sorry. So, to conclude today's show, I'd like to talk to you about how to contact today's show. If you'd like to be a fan of the game, you'd like to have your tattoo shown, or my new segment, the pet of the game, send me your pets in Blues gear, and I'll post them. You need to send me an email at Hawaii Blues Fan, one word, at hawaii.rr.com.
That email still works, by the way.
Video. So far, I've been highlighting fans from St. Louis with one exception. I want to highlight fans from around the country, around the world, and our military. So if you are outside of St. Louis and would want to be the fan of the game, please send me an email. Let me highlight you. This is a show by a fan for the fans. So help make it fan friendly. The last thing I want to say is aloha, mahalo, and let's go Blues. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. You know I want to be in that number when the Blues go marching in.
That 8-minute video took me 9 hours to produce. Right?
Wow.
It took 9 hours to produce that. I had to shoot. I used the camera on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's why it's from so far away. And the only way I used a Bluetooth mic.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's why. And luckily you couldn't see it. But with the Bluetooth mic, the voice and that didn't completely sync up right. Right. I didn't have all the gear. And I mean, if I went out and did that now, it would be so much better.
Yeah, it would. So
Right?
this is why I still say bigger coconuts, Hawaiian lays, grass skirt. Maybe
Well,
if
we'll
it's
put
blue.
that out there as one of the options. But that was believe it or not, only my 9th video. So,
Yeah, you've come a long way, my friend.
You know, that being my 9th video, it wasn't as bad as everybody's making it out to be.
It wasn't bad. It was cheesy, but it wasn't bad. But you've grown a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've learned a lot more. I've been smarter. I mean, I could do, if I wanted to produce one of those videos, something like that, and come back with a full produced video, I could. I have a lot of the stuff to do it. I know I've lost a lot. There was a hard drive that I had everything on, and the hard drive went down on me. And I lost like 90% of my stuff. Right.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, what I was trying to say is I don't know if you ever watched Nickelodeon's Guts, but Mike O'Malley hosted that show. In that video, you looked like Mike O'Malley.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's an actor. Look him up. He's funny.
Yeah. It wouldn't be better because originals are always the best.
Well, it would be better because his graphics are better. His knowledge has expanded. So we could make it really embarrassing here.
We could. And I did that on a closed beach, basically.
Yeah.
So there was nobody there. The roving fan. Yeah. I mean, it was. And then actually for my birthday, I brought, while I was in St. Louis, I brought the roving reporter back and had him in Hawaii while I was in St. Louis.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to check out some of those old shows. Like I said, it was very cheesy, man, but it was great.
I had some of the shows that they went from like 9-minute shows to an hour show.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they started getting, I got better at it. I got better at, I could interview myself basically.
Yeah.
All right. I could interview myself. I figured out how to do that and did some of that stuff. I really enjoyed, I learned how to green screen without a green screen. Right. So a lot of that was done without a green screen. So it was, it was fun. I worked it out. The guys at Let's Go Blues Radio, when I was going to host my birthday party at the now defunct Blue Note, they had said, well, I wonder how he's going to do, the roving reporter, during a live event. So what I went and did is I took background. I went and recorded Hawaii background, and then I green screened me, and then put my green screen over the background. But I forgot what I had said on the green screen when I was trying to do the interview at the Blue Note.
That's cute.
I don't know about extending. Well, I mean, we got another. Oh man, we're over an hour already. Wow, almost an hour already.
Yeah.
All right, one of my favorite shows now. The shows were fun to do, and they still are, and I would do them. The problem is the ROI is not there, right? I mean, to do a live show really takes me. I can put an hour into it. A little bit of study, think about things, about an hour into it, and then do the show. And then the show is very organic. So even then, things change. So you adjust, right? So it's an open produced show. And if I get 100 views out of it, great. I don't put it into it. But like for example, the interview I did on my birthday with Darren Pang last year, that I put probably me and my buddy Brett, between the two of us, probably put about 12 hours of production into that. Right? And that got 300 views. Right? 12 hours for 300 views. It got to a point it wasn't worth it anymore.
Yeah.
Right? One of my best shows was a playoff game. I did a live reaction show to a playoff game between the Capitals and somebody else, and that's like my best watch show. I think one of my best. I think my original Layla episode has jumped up, right? To where, because she got during the playoffs when she was getting highlighted all the time, she was getting searched for, and that show would get a few minutes of watching here and there.
Yeah.
Right. But that one jumped up. But I never had a show just like take off and people like it and things like that. I had one playoff show. No, Bob. I gotta love him. I had one show about Bennington at Winnipeg when he was telling. Bennington used to tell the crowd at to go suck him off, to suck it. Right? He would stand up and during the national anthem, he'd look left, he'd look right, and he'd do this. Right? He ended up, he doesn't do it anymore, but that's what he would do. And then I saw him do it at the home game. So I think he got in a little trouble for that. So he started doing it at the home games too. So it looked more like it was. You could sit down and do a 20-minute phone call on that original. Oh man, I don't know about that, my friend. I don't know about that. I don't know if I want to relive that for 20 minutes.
I mean,
I don't want to relive that 9 minutes again. Huh?
I said, man, he showed it. We don't need to talk about it. It was there.
Yeah. Maple Leafs end up beating the Capitals 5-3. I wasn't even paying attention.
Oh man.
Yeah. Probably got an empty netter in there. Well, I mean, we're almost there. Tomorrow night, I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. I might reach out to somebody and see if you know what? Let me reach out to Zucker.
Yeah, I would love to talk to Zucker.
Let's see if I can get Zook on to talk about. I mean, I know he's got a lot going on right now. Oh, by the way, Sports Freak, expect a package in the next couple of days. We finally hammered everything out. Expect a package in the next couple of days. And hopefully it'll have some extras in it. And then I got one other person that's too, but he's not here. Well, you better hope Colorado wins the division. Well, no, it's still up in the air. We don't know what it's going to be yet. I'm going to let you guys come up with the ideas, the suggestions, and then we'll come up with something, right? All learning experience. Yeah, it was. It was a learning experience. And
it looked like you had a lot of fun doing it, so...
I did. It was, here we go. Before we go away, I want to talk about this. So it's going to be a little bit longer. Yesterday, I did an interview with Oscar Mike Radio. Check them out, OscarMikeRadio.com. It will be posted on the 10th. And I talk about my military experience. I talk about why I do the show, how it's my therapy, how I use it for therapy. Right? I get into that a little bit. I get into a little bit of the politics of hockey. It took us 2 years to finally get that interview done. Right? It's something we've been talking about for a long time, but things come up, things happen, da-da-da, da-dee-da, boo-boo-boo. But right now, Actually, I have something I'm going to reach out. Somebody I'm going to reach out to later. Make sure my Facebook isn't screwing me up and see if I can get him on. I had a see. I announced that this guy was going to come on, and then he backed out on me. That's why I normally don't announce that somebody's going to come on. So, but yeah. So when it'll come out on the 10th, I'll put it out for you guys. Please check it out. Support them. If you guys support veterans, man, support us all the way. Support what we do. Check out our podcast. Check out he was impressed that I'm still doing this 3 years later. You know, he says a lot of vets do a podcast and they're not doing it 2 months later. You know, and the fact that I'm still 3 years later, still trying to do this, what was impressive, and the fact that I'm consistently live, that was another thing, because that's hard. It is easier to produce one than, even with all the hours, it's much easier to produce a video or an interview than it is to do a live show.
Yep.
But I'll be honest, I would love if we could get the views, I would do a 4 hour. I'm serious. I'd do a 4 hour hockey talk show every single day. I would. Monday through Friday, I would do a 4 hour hockey talk show. If I thought it would get the views, if I could get the guests, if I could get people to keep it interesting and all of that, I'd absolutely do it. Because I think I can do this. I think I have the voice for it. I think I have the passion for it. I think I have
no doubt in my mind that you could do it.
Right?
I couldn't, but you definitely could.
Well, you do what you got. Okay, guys. You know what's crazy? Since the Russian thing, I've heard so many people getting hacked on Facebook, Instagram, etc. Again, see, this is why I have the issues, right? To me, that's a straight rumor, right? Straight rumor. My account wasn't hacked by somebody. It's a issue between StreamYard and Facebook. That's all it is. But, you know, so I want you, that's why I won't take sides. That's why I think it goes both ways. I think that, you know, there's some issues here on both sides that aren't being discussed. The invasion is wrong. I will admit that. But what caused the invasion? And that's what we don't know. That's what we don't understand. Right? If the invasion, and I'm going to say this please take what I'm saying with a very open grain of salt. If the invasion was to ensure people's human civil rights and to stop genocide, then I'm all for it. I don't know if that's what it is. I honestly don't. I talked about this I even talked about this on Oscar Mike Radio, how I've heard it's everything from mineral rights to the Biden thing. That's the stuff that's out there. That's why I back away. If that makes sense.
Okay.
She's about ready to slap me upside the head. Oh, I love it. Okay, guys, this is Guy the Wild Blues fan for Ashley Slapshot Jones saying aloha mahalo, and we'll see you all tomorrow night on the Blue Note Fan Report. Aloha.